They are disturbing trash. They are nasty bottom feeders that the government contract to do these ways of acting. So this kid, this toddler who's like 2 years old, in his pampers, let's start making him feel, as I mean him, me the target individual, start making him feel some pain in his private area to create some kind of sensations, and then try to make him think of this kid's his little chubby legs and try to create something sexual. And then when he's like, you see, look how retarded you look like. I'll go and look at a picture of me with this kid, maybe a year older, and say, so what happened here? This trash tries to run in make this noise campaign and try to rouse to try to make me accept this disturbing thing, which I'll never identify with. So what they're gonna do too is like every time that happens, you're gonna get raped. Yes, I'll get raped, and I will not identify with this pedophilia things that this trash, which is you guys, implement onto target individuals to torment them. Now, I said many times, my psyops wants you to be subscriptive to these things. They try to get you to feel nervous, agitating, but also they want to be painted and be seen in certain ways instead of what they truly are. They're trash that sold their soul to pedophiles. They do these horrible things not only to men, but a lot of women, and also, unfortunately, to even children. They are the bottom feeders of the earth. They are trash. They're human trash. You should see them for what they are. Trashy, low-life bottom feeders. I'd rather starve to death on the street than having to live life doing what they do. But they are just the bottom feeder. Target individual, when you see these people playing these clowns, doing these things to try to torment you, see them as just the nobodies that the government contract. They are just aiding the manipulations aspect of what you're going to go through as a target individual. One thing I wanted to bring up in this video is this. I was watching a lot of testimonials from others and other target individual, and I can see it's all like the same thing. We all have the same stories, but we all see it in different ways. Some of us see this as a spiritual war. Others are thinking some other magical thing. We all have different. The reality is obviously that we have to accept this is governmental, and we're just human subjects. You know, not all these horrible things cannot happen to you with this level of funding and budgeting because a group of random criminals are doing this. It's not logical, it's nonsensical. And we have to accept that this type of technology and sophistication cannot come from some trash from next door. They like to call others whatever, but come on, see them for what they are. I'm sorry, I can never look at them and respect them. Now, horrible things are going to happen to them, but this to me, but these people are just the trash. They are truly. I can never look at them as like, I know what just happened to me. You just gonna do your job to make me accept this, but I understand it's way bigger than you. You're just a nothing here, and I'm just a subject that just is used to develop this technology. You guys do these things to so many others and want them to break down and accept these manipulations. I get it. Your job is to make me accept these things that is falsified. You're trash. But don't worry, you'll get yours. You're God today doing these things. Keep calling you God. Keep calling yourself God. Keep doing, do these things for the rest of your life. You'll see how trashy you truly are. But a lot of target individuals, we see this in a whole different ways. And I noticed that there's got different target individuals. Some of us are just gang stalk, others have gang stalking and the V2K technology, where that becomes up to the point where our brain is just manipulated and thoughts can be implanted. You hear this electronic harassment things. It's just disturbing. Right now they're just bringing up this ad of this little 2, 3 year old kid with his pampers, and the mother opening some gifts or something like that, and they just try to do these things over and over, which is nasty. But that's what they do, and then they try to make you scared of it, of what you just experienced, because they want you to identify with it. So immediately they're like, "Oh, you're gonna get raped." It's like, I'd rather get raped, but I'm never gonna let you live your fantasy. And on top of that, these entities, as disturbing as this is, like I bring up, these people are just the bottom feeders, like I said. This trash that made Noah's campaign was a trash. She's a bottom feeder. She's just a nothing, right? Or he's a nothing. The person, the people who are really somethings in regard to these programs are the people in this, working these entities, actually working there. I'm talking about the intelligence community. I'm talking about the CIA. I'm talking about the DoD. I'm talking about DARPA. They're the people in charge of this. These bottom feeders are just trash. Truly. These people in charge not only are the one coming up with these tactics, but also are the one coming up with this technology that can manipulate people to have these disturbing reactions, that then they try, this trash here is supposed to make you acceptive of this trash, and then be like, oh, they're gonna rape you. And right now it's like, oh, the people that are gonna rape you are, they hear you. They hear you. Because they want you to identify with this. Let me just say this as they hear me. I will never identify with this pedophilia type of torture that these people are renowned to be doing. These entities in charge of this program are filled with pedophiles. It is a problem, as this trash aiding this technology in this fashion to try to make you identify with these things are doing their job. I will never let them live their fantasy, and I will not even let them live in that distorted reality they put together. Me being raped or not. And so I was listening to the different testimonials, and there's this woman who's like, she was filming herself as, they do this raping tactics with this technology. This technology is super sophisticated. Everything can be done to you remotely. A lot of women experience that, even men, where they play with our genitals and do things to us. This woman in real time was getting raped using this electronic technology. And I know she was telling the truth, because I've experienced these things where they can do things to your genitals. They can make you feel like something goes in you. They can do all these things. And they've been using that a lot. So this woman just filming herself, and you can see that she's been dealing with it for a long time, because I'm not gonna say it seems like she's normalized it, but it seems like it doesn't faze her as much. And that means that's probably because this been done to her for so long, and for a lot of times, right? And I'm looking at that, and of course I know this is nothing new. They do these things. They rape women using this technology. Sometimes they don't even use technology. Sometimes they do the old-fashioned ways. But most of the targeted women who are dealing with V2K, they get these rapes applied onto them using this sophisticated technology that can make you feel like, like I said, I once felt like, and I'm going to be graphic, but that's what's happening to me. Like I felt like my rectum was being expanded, and something was just like a balloon, was just like expanding, and it was like, it's so disturbing. Now, so you understand that's what they can do to you. They have the ability to manipulate your body in so many disgusting ways. There's the psychological torment, like I mentioned earlier, and then you have this trash trying to get you to accept and gaslight you in different ways, making noise campaign and try to get you to be like, oh, accept this, listen to this noise. They can then play my private or do whatever they can. They just made me have a movement there, because I was talking about this ad of this like 1 or 2 year old kid that was in his pampers, and they want me to have like sexual reaction toward that. It's so nasty. And they want you to identify with this. And then they say, oh, they're going to rape you because of that. I'm like, regardless of what's going to happen to me, this is what you guys do to people. You manipulate people in these nasty ways. But they also do these raping tactics to try to break you down. And they want you to kind of lose sense of reality. right? And like I saw this woman being raped and just looking at it, and I'm like, this woman's probably been raped for so much, for so long. And to her, it doesn't phase, like, it phases her, but it's just like she's strong. As I'm saying that, by the way, like I said, they use this trash to try to disorient reality, right? So right now they have this bottom feeder that is yelling on top of his whole in his top of his lungs to try to interrupt me, because one, I'm not subscribing to this earlier manipulation where there's this like ad of this little toddler in his little pampers, and they would try to stimulate me and try to make me subscriptive to this, and that they're gonna rape you. Matter of fact, there's a trash in the hallway right now saying that, hoping that I'm gonna subscribe to it. Now I see them in person. Oh my gosh, in person they don't even want to be seen, because I'm not identifying with the manipulation, and I know they torture children and they rape women. And I know the entity contracting these bottom feeders are filled with pedophiles. So you gotta be strong. But what I wanted to say is how they try to create this psyop. We're protecting our kids, we're doing this and that. Phew, this trash, low life. They sold their soul to pedophiles. And they want you to be like acceptive of this fantasy they put together. I would rather get raped every day of my life. They're having to do what they do. I am thankful to God that in my life, in my breathing, able life, I never had to do any of this or even involve myself in a thing that is so disturbing. Where my job is to try to make a man or a woman react this way, to even be involved in a program that tortures children and that even use rape tactics on women, to the point where some of these women look like they're so used to being raped that they don't even react in certain ways. I am thankful that I didn't have to make noise campaign to throw trash to try to counter the reality and put things in perspective, because I was about to see a picture of me with this little kid about the same age of this little kid in his pampers, that they wanted me to feel sexual stimulation, and they try to counter that by making noise campaign and making a lot of noise. Clowns. Death comes to all of us. And then when they do these things, they then try to sound like mistakeful. It's like, and then you're gonna get raped. It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry for the language, but I'd rather get raped than do what you do. Trash, go back to your fucking apartment where you work for pedophiles, you nasty trash. I'm sorry for sometimes cursing. I try not to. But it's just, things becomes biblical, and they tell me how they're gonna frame me, and that's how I'm gonna get raped. It's okay, do your nasty things, work for pedophiles, frame people, pretend that you're not in a program that is out here raping women until they kill themselves. That you're not in a program that is actually torturing children, and that you're not in a program where the people running the show are filled with pedophiles, those entities, and you're just a trash the government contracted with actually very minimum power. They're bottom feeders. They feel empowered doing this thing to me because I'm a target individual, and as a target individual, I'm basically a subject, a human subject, a guinea pig that they can do anything for the improvement and developing of this technology. So these trash are nothing, feel so special. Oh, they make themselves believe, oh my God. They're just trash, retarded, low life that wants to create a fantasy. And so this testimonials target individuals. That's why I'm thankful that there's thousands, and that shows the obviousness that these people can torture anybody, even babies. And they've been torturing women all around the world. That's why you hear this law enforcement. They're part of these governmental entities. They can do so much nasty things to the most vulnerable people. This women saying that even the law enforcement is involved in that. They rape these women. And they want you to go into these manipulations of things and think that I'm going to subscribe to identify with this. You know, whatever horrible things that's going to happen to me, you know, I don't want to be so talkative about death, but we're going to die. There's going to be an end regardless. I don't want it, but it's going to happen. I will die. But this trash will die too. But I'm so thankful that I felt this empowerment before I died. I'm still so thankful. You know, something they like to say right now, I think this couple was trying to say, because what they try to do is try to get me to be subscriptive to these things. But I'm with somebody. I don't know if she you know, they keep telling me that, oh, you got something from her. And I don't know if it's true, but of course I'll test myself and see if that's the case. But you know, it'll be disturbing to know if they used her to make me sick. That's all I can say. And if that person got involved in my life for the sole purpose to make me sick in that way, you know, I don't want to go. If she used that as like her like secret weapon, it'll be so disturbing. But you know, people who do these things, they'll be reimbursed properly, and you can see that is just like there's been warnings for her, and if you know, if let's just say that I don't think she's a lucky person, and I don't think that will help her luck. But they're like, oh, you got it. It's like, oh, whatever. You know, I'm gonna get tested to see if it's true or not. If that's true, then I'll make sure that things are taken care properly. But one thing is for sure is these people are doing so much horrible things to women and children. And I know that there'll be a time when I will dedicate more time into going back to see all the testimonials. Because when you see a woman who's filming herself as she's being raped, and they use this technology, right? And so it doesn't seem like nothing can happen to you, like nothing is happening to you, but something is happening to you, right? That's how sophisticated this technology is. That's why you have these bottom feeders in the hallway right now trying to interrupt me. And feeling empowerment, like she can do so much to me remotely, but if you see who is talking to me, it's some weak bottom feeder shit that the government contracts. And she will run back to her apartment immediately. But while she's in her apartment, she can be doing things to my body. They do these things to women, and they rape them. And they, like, you see this woman looking at her, like looking at the camera when she's being raped. And so, you know these things, right? You know that these women, these people, these men are doing horrible things to women and children, and then try to make you accept these manipulations where they force you to get you like this reaction toward babies. And you hear who's talking, this nastiness. Oh. I mean, this is why people believe this thing is biblical. It's how these people appear to look. How did their parents? I'm telling you, you could never ever look at this person like, you trash. I think that the gaslighting with me can only work via V2K. Once you see who's trying to gaslight you to make you accept these disturbing things, you like in 2 seconds, you're like, you are a trash bottom feeder, obviously trash bottom feeder of the governmental. They are so pathetic. And I hear this trash here tell me, they're gonna frame you, target individual. They are selling their own children. I remember coming here, there was some kids tried to bump onto me, to like, and somebody was looking at me, try to make it look like, oh, we caught you. When in reality, I looked at him, he's like, you're trash. He didn't even know what to look. He's like, start looking away. He's like, you see that? You guys are nasty bottom feeders. Target individual. This is not biblical in the sense that it's the devil doing this thing to us. This is governmental entities experimenting on us. This technology that does this whole, unfortunately, this is technology that our governments, the United States governments, have been working on for decades. We are just guinea pigs. Of course, this technology can be done for so much good. But currently, this is not the application of this. This is not what is needed. They're learning how to destroy people's life. because it's still in the hands of this governmental entity like the DoD. So to improve this technology, they have to use human subjects. The psychological torture, the psychotronic torture is also what it is. It is psychological torment. For example, this ad, let me repeat that because they want you to identify with this manipulation. And I'm quick to, with the quickness that to repeat what they do. There was this ad of this mother coming, getting things out of some gift bags or something like that. And next door, there was like this toddler, 1 or 2 year old kid in his Pampers. And they're trying to get me to get stimulation when making me think of this ad. Now, usually the thing is, when they do that to our little boys, it's usually tough because I have a picture, right, with me holding a little boy about the same age of this kid. And I babysit him. I saw him being changed. I saw him in his Pampers. I saw, like, this little kid, I've been around him. So what happened then? And in my head, they tried to change it. The kid was too small. It was like, but that's the things they do, right? They do this, and some people have just literally called it the pedophilia type of torture. And then they use these bottom feeders who are trying to get you to disorient you. She tried to get you to think in different ways. For example, now I heard this trash saying, "You use her hands to try to disorient me." It's like, no, but... And then they go into me as a kid, try to create their fantasy, try to... Because what they do is they make you experience disturbing pedophilia type of tormenting. And the reality is, this is called the pedophilia type of torture because somebody who experienced the same thing said the same thing. Target individual, that's why it's important for us to continuously talk about what's happening to us. Because these perps, when they target us, when they are contracted to target us, they also try to maintain a psyop. They try to make you think that they're something that they're not. They try to make it seem like we're this group of people protecting our community. We are this women avenging for what you've done to women. We are this, we are the Russian mafia, or we're protecting our children. Like all this BS. That is part of this facade that these governmental entities have created to try to portray this falsified reality. Instead of what this really is us target individual being human subject in this manipulation, in this technology that can manipulate your thoughts. And so when we all say the same thing, that, for example, I saw this ad, this kid is in this little baby is like 1-year-old, 2-year-old in his Pampers. They try to force me to get stimulations, and I hear to try to get me stimulation, and I hear some woman say, "I smell baby powder." They make me feel like they make me have this pedophilia type of torture. This other person say they try to change who I am, making me have this reactions and thoughts that are pedophilia centric. And then this trash next door. I don't know if they're involved in this, but I don't know if they're the one, if they're using weapons, but this is happening to me. This trash are bottom feeders. And then that's all you have to see them as. Do not subscribe to this nasty manipulation because some trash is throwing trash and making noise campaign. Bottom feeders. That I will see them for what they are, and I will humiliate them. They sold their soul to pedophiles, and now they want you to be subscriptive to their fantasy. No, you can make me think this way. You make me have these reactions. Yes, I know this technology is very sophisticated. You didn't just call me doing this. You know this was going to be applied onto me. You did your noise campaign. You wanted to interrupt me. That's why you tried to change subject when I was going to pull a picture with me and this little boy. So me holding this little boy, because it's going to change this fantasy that you created. And your job is to try to make me accept this manipulation. That's your job. That's your occupation right now. You're discussing trash. And you guys do this to women and children too. You hurt women, you hurt children. You are the foulest human beings. Yes, the law enforcement is involved because this is governmental. You are just trash. To all my target individuals, You will see religious people involved in this. You will see law enforcement involved in this. You will see grandmothers involved in this. You will see kids involved in this. Because this is something massive that the government has been doing onto civilians all around the world to continuously improve this technology. And we, target individuals, are just guinea pigs. And we, even though we can do nothing about some of the things they do to us, should never be identifying with the way they manipulate us. Recognize these manipulations for what they are, disturbing manipulations, and just see them for the trash that they are. The people in charge are not the people living next to you. Please believe this. They're just the weak shit that the government contract. So stay strong and know that justice will be done.